And the one thing I recognise, Adam, is when you say on certain projects, people can see the introduction of roof lights and skylights as a bit of a risk to their project, and sometimes people have concerns it's going to increase the budget and make the build commercially untenable.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we come in as the specialists, because it's about making sure we've got a cost-effective solution that meets the budget in the first place, but then the design is congruent with the rest of the building, so it's going to work. It's going to give the right solution internally,
Yeah.
but it's also going to interface with the rest of the build, and it's about taking that risk and that concern away at a design level, but also at a build level or an operational level, and ensuring that ultimately we can give project the right product that then helps deliver the right building in the end.
Well, I think that's important to say that, because we do have a vast product portfolio, and I always believe that we should be using the correct product for the right project.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important.
But I think, what I see is I can understand if you're not in the roof light industry, you can understand how that might seem a lot more complicated than it looks, and potentially bring risk into you, not only your build, but also your build program. And I think that's where we can help demystify the introduction of skylights and roof lights and make that really easy for that project. Can you think of any good examples where that's worked for you recently?
Yeah, I think it's a good project was the Wixham's retirement home, which was quite a large project. We had budget constraints, but I think the good thing about that project is that we sat down with the architect, with the contractor, firstly to understand what they actually required, because it was an unusual one. Very large roof light, lantern light, so glazed vertical sides with a ridge on top, but the actual roof light tapered because of the shape of the building. So again, we were able to offer, under our large portfolio of roof lights, a solution for that. But also within that, there were smoke ventilation panels.
Oh, okay.
So it was quite complicated. And the beauty of that was that I could introduce my technical team based at head office, who then could draw and design the roof light to ensure that we meet the requirements in terms of the creating enough daylight and creating enough ventilation, free area ventilation. And the other thing that was really good about it, that they quite thought it was really important, is that we did a supply and install service.
Yes.
So they get the complete package, which then it's only one port of call.
Yeah.
If there's any issues, they come back to VELUX Commercial, and we're not going anywhere. We'll be here for the next 50 years. Okay. And I think that is the right thing to say, to be honest, on that.
Yeah. And your smoke ventilation, those openers interface with the building management system?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So they can put it into we provide the openers with the wiring. We work together to understand how it works with the management system, and it works fine, absolutely. Or on certain projects, they can work independently, depending what's required.
And on different projects, the technical requirements can, I suppose, vary massively. Yeah,
absolutely.
What are the typical things you come across?
I suppose if we take it back to basics in terms of is it glass or is it polycarbonate glazing? Why would one use glass against polycarbonate? And it really depends on the situation, type of building, and location. It could also be down to cost, for example. And it could be down to the shape of the actual roof light. There's so many elements. That's why it's very important to get the understanding of what the requirements are in terms of design.
So it's interesting, Adam, that you bring in both polycarbonate and glass solutions.
Yeah,
We are seeing more and more glass, but the polycarbonate technology's moved on so much over recent years that I think some of the concerns around it are a bit of a myth.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
also, I think there's still a place for it to be used for the right solution, in the right environment, in the right technical challenge. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it's an asset to be able to give either or. It's one of them,
yeah,
if you want to know whether it's a polycarbonate or a glass solution, come to the person who's got both.
yeah,
And then you get no bias and you can get the right solution. And that's certainly the standpoint that we come from. And I think it's our responsibility as a specialist supplier into commercial roof lights and skylights is we're conscious about all the technical challenges that a building designer or a building constructor will come across, whether that's thermal, sound,
yeah,
safety. Albeit, I think safety's, in my opinion, has got to be a given rather than, something that people are using as a marketing tool. I think that's something that should just not happen naturally. I think we've got to forget about it as something we talk about as a product attribute, and that's just something it does. Yeah. So going back to thermal performance and acoustic performance, it's about having the right solutions
yeah,
to meet a wide range of requirements. Now, there's always limits, but I think we've got to be clear about those to those in the marketplace that we're working together as partners with.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, in terms of polycarbonate, when I first started, many years ago, we used to have polycarbonate, acrylics, and PVC. Now it's purely polycarbonate. And in the old days, it used to discolour depending on where it was located on the roof, how much sunlight was actually hitting it, and it would discolour and demould. And it gave it a very negative outlook.
We still see those pictures, don't we, of all discoloured
Yeah, absolutely.
polycarbonate domes
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
1980s. If you remember back that far,
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
But nowadays the polycarbonate is so superior. You don't see discoloration for such a long time, and that comes along with our guarantees and warranties. But the other thing to remember with polycarbonate, it's impact resistant. So if children were on top of a roof and they were to fall on the roof light, they're not going to fall through it. And I think that's a really important factor. Yes, it's a more cost-effective solution, but also it is a good solution in the right place.
So, Adam, when we're talking about the commercial approach, now that it's one VELUX Commercial, what's the biggest difference?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is the vast product portfolio that we can offer. Previously when I was at meetings and I was looking at the roofing drawings, I was just focusing on the glass atriums. But now I can focus on the standalone AOVs, the access hatches, standard domes. It's the full range of product that we can offer. So we've now become, for the contractor, a one-stop shop. They don't have to go to different companies. They can come to us, and we've got the expertise as well, which backs it up. And I think that's key.
So that's a one-stop shop, whether you're needing to comply with regulations,
Yes.
which we know is becoming, increasingly challenging for our customers. Also, if you want modular solutions, so there's less time on site, so they become a lot of factory manufactured solutions like VMS, VGP.
Yeah, absolutely.
VELUX modular skylights and VELUX glazing panels. And I think for me, if you look at the increasing technological requirements of a skylight or roof light solution, you've got your thermal requirements, you've got your acoustic requirements, you've also got compliance from a safety perspective, which is hugely important, but I don't think that should be something that's used as a marketing tool. I think that's something that should be, absolutely compliant without any argument. And it's important that we as a sales team help our partners navigate through that, giving them the right solutions right from the start. Is that how you see it?
Absolutely, and working within the budget, and then we can detail the different types of roof lights that are required.
There's certain things to always remember as a VELUX company. Part of the model company objective is to bring to the market products that are useful, but also to treat all stakeholders better than other companies do.
Yeah.
So that's what drives us as VELUX Commercial in the commercial sector.
Yeah.
Hopefully our portfolio is really useful,
Yeah.
and can solve a lot of challenges in a vast array of commercial situations. And we're driven to also make sure that we're working with customers to help them achieve their objectives, to build long-term partnerships,
Yeah.
not just transactionally selling a solution.
Yeah. Absolutely.